Hello everyone, welcome back to the High School Wrestling Rule video series. My name's Alex Green. If you're not familiar with the channel, be sure to subscribe. Down to your right, my left, is the red subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that for me and drop me one of these big thumbs up. That would be a great help to the channel. As most of you probably know, our nation is, I'm not going to say in a state of panic, but the word pandemic is being thrown around because of the coronavirus, the COVID-19, I believe is what it's called officially. And one thing about what we're seeing is they're saying stay away from crowds, limit yourself. The new term is social distancing. That's what a lot of your politicians are saying. A lot of your news releases and press releases are saying practice social distancing. Well, in the sport of wrestling, kind of hard to distance yourself from your opponent, and we know how that goes. So I'm going to give a little guidance here on just what the book says, and then give you some commentary on the way I think certain things that meets the way parents or coaches or even wrestlers need to handle themselves, either at a meet or away from a meet. So I'm going to dive into the book here as always, give you the rules section article, and go from there. I'm filming this in March of 2020, and this is right in the middle of the coronavirus. I guess it's just now starting to get big. They've postponed, or not postponed, but they've the NCAA put out that the tournaments, the men's and women's basketball tournament, are going to be held without crowds. I think the wrestling tournament's going to be held as well. There's been a lot of other major events canceled. I think WrestleMania is on the chopping block and some other big events. But I'm going to tell you what the latest edition of the rule book says. We know wrestling seasons now has passed, but that don't mean that the rules have changed yet. Now, they may in the summertime, and if they do, I'll do, as always, I'll do an update in my 2020-2021 rule change video. But for now, this is one I'm going to go with. And you can find this in Rule 4, Section 2, Articles 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, basically, what we have to deal with as far as any type of disease is the communicable skin disease. It's staph infection, ringworm, impetigo, all that good stuff. And if you've been around wrestling any length of time, you know what I'm talking about. I know a lot of states have, if a wrestler has to have or does have some type of disease on their skin, they have to go to a physician, have to get a special form filled out, and it's good through this date. It's, it expires on, whatever, February 1st. You have to go back and get a new one. That's great, and you need to adhere to those specific, whatever because some states are different. I'm not going to get into the particulars of every state, but you need to know what your state requires as far as forms go. Now, the book, Rule 4, Section 2, Article 4, this is what it says. If a designated on-site appropriate healthcare professional is present, he/she may override the diagnosis of the appropriate healthcare professional signing the medical release form for a wrestler to participate or not participate with a skin condition. Now, basically, like I just said, basically all of our issues is with skin. And we know this is more of an airborne type deal. They're telling everybody, wash your hands. The best way to prevent it is washing your hands. Okay, now, I read that to you to say that you may have like a birthmark, eczema, psoriasis, need to go have that checked and have it. This is a pre-existing condition. It's not something you required from wrestling. And that way you can have it all season. Some states will allow that. The book even says that you can have one for the entire season. Just make sure referees and coaches that your state allows that. Or if you're going to travel to another state, make sure they allow your form to be valid. Because you don't want to travel, 3, 4, 5 hours, get to an event, and then they're like, oh, well, this form is no good in this state. Sorry about your luck. Hit the road. We don't want that. We want everybody to participate that makes the trip, if they make weight, of course. But getting back to the coronavirus and what's going on right now, the deal is with the coronavirus, from everything I can gather, is it's a strand of the flu. They're telling everybody you can't find disinfectant, you can't find toilet paper for whatever reason, hand sanitizer, you can't hardly find it. Now you can't find the aloe vera and the isopropyl alcohol to make it. Everybody's going crazy, but they're saying the standard precautions, wash your hands, all that good stuff. And the news that I've seen, I'm sure you guys have seen it just as well, that the N95 air mask aren't really helping. Now, I don't know why everybody's wearing them if they're saying they're not helping, but that's just the case. Now, again, this is not medical information. I'm not a doctor. I'm just giving you some ideas here as an official. Now, what I want to get to is the preventative measure. Wrestlers and coaches and parents, guardians. If you have a little one, especially a kid that is wrestling, a younger kid, high school kids, y'all should know to take showers when you get home. If you don't take a shower after practice, take a shower as soon as you get home. Don't go home and go to sleep. Don't do anything. Take a shower. I'm telling you, take a shower. Use soap and water. I know that sounds, getting in and just getting in the shower ain't going to do anything if you don't use any soap. Use shampoo, use soap, use body wash, whatever. And make sure you clean yourself, because God only knows what's on that mat. Another thing, wrestlers, if you wear your wrestling shoes all meet, think about where you're stepping. You're probably going to the bathroom. And I've been in men's restrooms. I know what the floor is like. There's probably more urine on the floor than it gets in the commode sometimes, especially at high school meets. So think about that. If you're wearing your shoes all over the place and you're getting out and you're walking across the mat and you got to roll around, I don't want to roll around in somebody else's urine. I know it happens. I don't like to think about it, but if I can prevent that at all possible, I really do my best to sanitize myself. I carry hand sanitizer, I carry disinfectant wipes and disinfectant spray. Between every break, if I go eat or whatever, I'm spraying my shoes, I'm spraying anything, my gear, my wristbands, my flip disc, all that kind of stuff. And when I come back on the mat, I spray my shoes before I start officiating. That way, I'm doing my part best as possible to curb the germs, to curb whatever is growing on the bottom of my feet. I have a special, my own my own pair of shoes, I should say, that I use to officiate in. I change. You may not, and that's fine if you don't. But I change once I do weigh-ins, put my officiating shoes on, go out there, spray them. If I got a break, I'll spray them again. If you've ever seen me at a meet, you know I'm being honest with you. You know I'm being straight up. And you need to take that same precaution. When you get home, wash your gear. Don't wear the same stuff over and over and over. I know sometimes it's easy to throw the gear in the bag, put it on the next day, whatever. Wash your stuff. Get a couple pair of shorts, a couple pair of sweatpants, a couple of different hooded sweatshirts you may need to cut weight in. But have somebody, get your girlfriend, get your boyfriend, girls, whoever, parents, maybe ask the school to do it. Especially wash your singlets, your headgear. If you wear it, guys and girls, please wash it. I know I shouldn't have to say that, but wash your gear. Wash your practice gear and wash your singlet, or if you have the compression shirt and fight shorts, whatever, wash it. Wash your shoes, clean your headgear. Just take care of yourself, clean your stuff. Clean out your equipment bag too. Don't just need to spray some disinfectant, spray in there, wash it, but clean your equipment bag as well. Backpack, whatever. God only knows what's growing in there. But I'm going to wrap this up real quick. Just make sure your skin disease form is good. If you have to have a skin disease form, make sure that it's going to be applicable wherever the state you're traveling to for the meet if you're going to go out of state. And officials, just something here to think about. If you're refereeing a meet and you have your own disinfectant, you want wrestlers to clean their shoes before they come on your mat, hey, wrestlers, take this spray your shoes off, give them a minute or two to dry it. That way they're not slipping, hurting themselves, whatever. But give them a chance to dry off and let them wrestle. That way you can do your part to keep the mat sanitized. And also another thing too, you could do home management during breaks. If you say you run into that 45-minute rule, have the home management or home meet administration go through and re-sanitize the mats. Twice a day wouldn't hurt. 3 times a day wouldn't hurt. Sometimes it's the very first thing in the morning whenever they get there, whenever staff gets there, wrestlers get there, moms and dads or grandparents, whoever, they'll mop the mats early. And then you know how it is. The kids get out there on the mat, they practice, they roll around, they're wearing their shoes all day. Just something to think about. And that's pretty much all I got for you today on this video. So again, hit the subscribe button down to my left, your right. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell somebody about the channel. And until next time, we'll see you guys on the mats.